Hey everybody, it is Tuesday morning. That was Spud being adorable because she just woke up, and now she's rolling around. Well, I'm actually not here to talk about Spud, or even Gracie, or games, or anything like that. I'm gonna have to pet Spud though because she's being really cute. I'm gonna talk about how good I feel. I might not look like great now. Some may know, very few of you, honestly, because it's not something I've talked about a lot on the channel. I've been settling my mom's estate for nearly 6 years. She passed away in March of 2009, and I never really had much time to focus on the estate. 3 weeks after she died, people were moved in here. And that was a big blessing in a lot of ways, and it came with a lot of challenges. But I think it was a good move in the long run. Even though there's a lot I should have been told about everybody. And everyone should have been given more information. No one's given them information. Everyone's just thrown around. And moved in here out of nowhere, and everything was a rush job. And that quite a lot of problems. A lot of challenges. Things zap me. I look and I think it's of '09. I had to leave the house every day. I couldn't handle everything that was going on. And I think that took me out. And I never quite got back. But tonight, overnight here, thank you, Spud. It's been really good. I sent in a lot of applications for jobs this week. Some writing pitches. Hoping to get, because that's what I want. I want something. I just don't want a job. I want one that I want to do work that I will enjoy. Ideally, something that's very close to what I'm doing already. Just involves a lot more money. Because it's not a matter of, oh, you want to get rich. I just want to live comfortably. My mom's goal for me was to not, work, not like she had to, but she was unhappy a lot in her life, and I realized when she passed, it was due to her mom passing away. And she never got over that. And I realized that I never got over my mom passing away. I probably, every now and then I think about my grandmother passing, and it's just been a long, hard road, and I was very lucky when my mom went that I had a very strong support group, and we had so much help from people. It was hard to see her. If you've ever seen someone go through cancer, she went from being heavy to being so skinny. And we thought it was a good thing because she was on this new diet for her diabetes. And we just didn't catch the cancer came back. When they found it, it was too late to really do anything. I scheduled a double mastectomy, and she was all gung-ho. Poor Spud. And they said, well, before we do something that radical, what we're going to do is we're going to do a PET scan. It was a test that had, I guess, come about, or maybe become more affordable in the 5 years that she'd had cancer before. It detected other sites. So it all went from, okay, we're dealing with stage 1, to now we're dealing with stage 3, and then they run more tests, and it's stage 4. They run more tests, and it's all over the place. She fought it. She fought so hard. She waited for 2 weeks to keep up. We had some hope. They said that the cancer was gone. Right after, she went in the ICU and she was never the same. She could never talk coherently again after that ICU trip. I did some research after that, and there's a thing called ICU brain. I don't remember what it is, but it described what she had to a T. It was scary, because she couldn't. She was like regressing to the point of being a child almost. But then she'd have moments of being herself. That whole time period was so hard, but it was also so good, because it felt like the transition was going so smoothly. Oh, my poor honey. And my poor cat. And my poor eye, which is now burning very badly. Oh, this is just not good. Oh, Spud has decided to take over for a second there. Sorry about that. I had to go. I just clear my head for a second. So, she never quite regains her mental faculties fully. But there's some good things happening. We get a nice hospital bed for the house. In theory, it's a good thing. She got pinned between it, the wall. Because it was a cheap one. Literally, it had a hand crank for someone that couldn't, really use it because she didn't have any real mobility anymore. And she had a walker. And she was stubborn. She came by it honestly. She got it from her dad, and I got it from her to some degree. Not to the degree I needed to at times. But she was stubborn. She didn't want to use the walker, and she'd use me, and what she'd do is she'd grab onto me with like the Frankenstein monster kind of walk, but a lot more shuffly because she just didn't have the ability to really move very well. She was in a lot of pain. She had cancer in her back, rib cage, neck, pelvic bone, ileum, all from the breast cancer. And apparently, according to the hospice nurse, and this is kind of jumping ahead, I'm trying to be chronological, but I can't be right now for this one. It's pretty common that the cancer in the spine, the fluid goes to the brain. And so you wind up with the intermittent symptoms of brain cancer. But you don't have brain cancer, but you have a lot of the negative effects of it. So, yeah, that was no good. And we went to the doctor, and he just said, "What do you want me to do to make you comfortable?" And we knew it was, but that's really, but that was finality to a pretty big degree. And we got hospice going that day. And we got hospice going on a Tuesday. And She was in a coma a few days later. She was in a coma, I believe, Friday or Saturday morning. And everyone at the Legion, they helped so much. Everything. If we needed rides, we'd get rides. And every day, they were there. So much help I couldn't have gotten through without them and without folks who I'd gotten back in touch with. I'd known him. I'd known my friend Ryan since kindergarten, and I got back in touch just through an IM. And he helped me out a lot then. And then when I get back to Legion folks, they came by. They didn't know she was in a coma. She just had gone down one morning and she was in a coma. I called the hospice. They sent a nurse over. Sure enough, it's the coma. And I was so worried. And they said they just had all these pamphlets just ready to go. And I was at ease. I was just like, her pain's over. That time was so hard because it was like grieving began, because she was just in the living room where I am now, just mere feet from where I am shooting this video. And that's not the weird part. I'm proud to be here. It's not hard for me to be here. Just recalling it, I haven't really done that in so long because I haven't had a chance. But hey, it's my channel. I can do what I want. I've offered estate advice, which has largely been what to do, mixed with what not to do. And that's kind of want to put this out here because, well, it's something where I think a lot of people feel like no one's gone through it. And one thing I've realized with a very well-known wrestling historian who I would say is not bad. He's overcome his battle with cancer, but he is not. You never, until you're 100% done with chemo, and until you have a lifetime free of cancer, you're never done with that battle. That battle can always come up at a moment's notice. But anyway, back to the Legion folks. They were going to come by and sponsor her for bingo. And I'll never forget Mark, one of the guys there. All these folks are so tough. You know, you got just good people. They've seen, you know, in most cases they're veterans, you know, except for the Sons of the Legion folks. I was a member for a while there, and just dropped to his knees, seeing her in a coma. They were gonna take her if she fell up to him. That week was so hard. There was so much to get done. And to get the will ready, like we found that. It all seemed like it was coming together. And then she passed away. That whole coma time was so hard, but so good, because she wasn't in any pain. The last sense to go was hearing, and I could see her eyes going and fading and filling with black. And I could see her body deteriorating in front of me, because I had to clean her. I had to scrub her mouth and give her pain medicine and stuff, and that was weird, but it was hard to do, and I did it. And I look back and I'm like, I did a lot. I did a lot. I need to remember everything I did because I have been thrown so far off course. I just can't believe it. I mean, the day she passed away, I called right after they took her away. And I'll never forget when they took her away, they said, "You want to get some photos?" And I was like, I don't know, it feels weird. You know, but I got photos because I was never going to get a chance to do it again. I didn't take any of her in the coma. I just didn't want to remember her like that. But when she passed away, she was just she was so peaceful. She waited for me. I woke up and came down, and the nurse gave me the rundown. I was, expecting a decline. We were expecting her to go a few days before. The nurse and the assistant said, "Just tell her she can go." That was hard to do, but at that point we got the estate. It started. We got the will. We got power of attorney. It's like, okay, affairs are as in order as I can get them right now. And she passed away. Took her away, and I called the number someone at the Legion had used for a lawyer, and I had a lawyer's number, and they said, "Well, they're not going to be there." And I was like, "I've got to do it today. I just have to." I knew I had to. Because if I didn't do it then, I was going to come up with 1,000 excuses and not do it. And I don't even, I just did. And we lucked out. And they were there because they had to get paperwork ready for a case on Monday. And it got the ball rolling on things. And I went in, and I'd never done anything like this before, but I planned a funeral right after she passed away, and we just went through everything bit by bit. And I forget how much it was, but it wasn't like some unbelievable sum. We went with the cremation. And, well, everyone who's watched the channel and these videos, you've seen the urn before, but that's her urn right there. That's the hat she wore when she lost her hair, and she lost it willingly. And she went to get a haircut. And I surprised her on the way there. I said, "I'm going to do it too." And it just seemed obvious. It's no great thing. Just hair. Grows back. In my case, it grows back kind of weirdly. But whatever. It is what it is. And she was so proud. And it was good to go there because we had a regular barber. We loved him. Brandon, great barber, easy to talk to, big smile on his face, and it gave her a big smile. And it's one of those things where we knew she'd never see him again. But I just felt like things were gonna work out. And people were moved in here, and I was told, if you say no, they're going to put them on the street. And that wound up not being true. And then for Mother's Day this past year, I was told that it was all done to give me a guilt trip. Apparently I needed a guilt trip 3 weeks after my mom's day. I disagreed. Loudly. I've really had a hard road since she passed away. But today I looked through the legal bill, and I was like, well, it's kind of high. It's $3,000, and I don't exactly have $3,000 to spare easily. I'm looking forward to chipping that down and getting the estate settled as best I can and finding some work. I'm not afraid of working, it's the job market's not great right now. I'm in the wrong series of businesses, in a way. Yet in the right ones too. I just want to be able to have the house. It said Thursday. That's all she wanted, was for me to have this house. And I was told that, oh, good Lord. Yikes. I will be taking a shower after doing this video because I'm covered in all sorts of wonderful things right now. Whatever. I'm pouring my heart out. You can, we're all human beings here, folks. I just want to do that. I want to be able to look and see a paycheck that I earned that covers, good Lord, I really should have brought like a small trash can to tissues over here. It covers bills. No, nothing ungodly. Not looking to be a millionaire. Just looking to cover the bills. Looking to balance things out a bit. I'm going to do it. But in the hell. I'm going to. And folks, if you've got a family member that's fighting cancer, you have your bad days. And you have those good days. And years later, it doesn't matter when it is. It doesn't even feel like it's been 6 years. It really doesn't. It all is like it's yesterday. Every last bit of it. That's how it's always going to be. It's always going to feel like it was yesterday. That's not a bad thing. Because when you look back at the strength, it's going to feel like it was yesterday. Even if it was 6 years ago, it's going to feel like it was yesterday. Because when I got so much done tonight. It felt great. I went through this big stack of paperwork that I just let pile up. Because she hated doing paperwork. I hate doing paperwork. And for me, it's hard to see paperwork. Paperwork's in this little tiny type 8 font. And my vision, I don't see type 8 font too well, Well, I'm going to tell you that if you've got fear that you're not, oh Lord, if you're not where you want to be, I am so sorry. 1 second. Oh, good Lord. Okay, I'm back again. It's going to be a needlessly long video, but, well, not needlessly long, but I think it's an honest video. And I know that I'm not the only one dealing with cancer in their families, I'm not the only one that's dealt with a lot. Since she passed away, my grandfather